Good morning, my loves. Justice here. I thought I'd go live with you today and talk about what comes up when we start to claim more of ourselves, when we start to stretch more fully into who we are, whether that is through personal expression or whether that is through how we're meeting and expressing and fulfilling what we feel like is our purpose, or in relationship or in any way that might show up. So as always, I invite anybody who is here and present and awake on this Saturday morning to join the conversation in the comments. Let me know how it makes you feel, if it resonates, if you have any questions or thoughts. I appreciate the participation in these. So let's just take a breath and meet the moment, meet our bodies, meet each other. I'm going to talk about this from a really kind of personal interface, because that's how I feel inspired to approach it in this moment. So what I can say about myself, my life, my purpose, that I'm really stepping into and claiming more than I ever have is that I really resonate with this Muse energy. I love inspiring people. I love provoking people. I love taking pictures of myself and my life and sharing beauty and inspiring people with that. And it comes up hard against this really deep old programming in me that it's not safe to be seen. I'm sure I'm not the only one who resonates with that. So why would it not be safe to be seen? We have to move through the world. We're in a physical body. If we want to ever garner any kind of acknowledgement for our professional skills, we have to be fucking visible. There may be times in our life where that Harry Potter cloak of invisibility is completely appropriate and useful, but when it comes to being mature adults and moving through the world, we have to be seen. If we want to be in a relationship, we want to be seen. If we want to be professionally recognized and meet and build community, or whatever it is we need to be seen. So this is a deep thing for me. It's a deep fear and it's a deep desire. I want to be seen, and I want to be seen. I'm okay. I'm fully 100% okay being seen for my body. If you look through my page, you will notice lots of different pictures of me sharing lots of different states, and lots of different layers of dress and undress, because as somebody who really, I love life. I'm deeply sensual. I'm unabashedly sexual. It doesn't mean that I'm promiscuous or that I don't want to see your dick in my inbox. I don't. I've only ever had one of those, and I have no desire to recreate that experience. It was really kind of underwhelming, and that was my actual response to the person who sent it. I've developed sort of a protectiveness and a fierceness in the way that I move about the world. My purpose is multifaceted. It's there's all of this juiciness to me and who I am and how I move about the world. And then there are these deeper places in me that also want and crave and need expression. I talk a lot about trauma. I talk a lot about predation, especially lately. I talk about really uncomfortable things. I talk about spiritual bypassing. This is the entire gamut of who I am and how I want to be seen. And what I've noticed with a pretty good amount of consistency is that for me, when I get to one of these edges where I've kind of, you know what they feel like. It's like you hit this membrane in your growth, and you know that like you're touching something that perhaps at once was a protective layer, once was a container. And if you're going to grow, you're going to develop beyond that, like you have to push through that layer. You have to stretch that membrane. You have to allow more of yourself out, and you have to allow a little bit more of the world in. So what does that mean? What does that mean for us? Good morning, Gabriel. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, all you guys who are being quiet. I see you. I'd love it if you want to say hi. What does it mean for you if you want to join the conversation in the comments when you hit a layer in yourself where you know you want to go beyond what is currently available, how you're either showing up or how your work is moving through you, or what you're capable of giving or receiving in relationship? What does that layer feel like for you? Morning, Kevin. Morning, David. Cooking. Oh, you guys, okay, I'm gonna cry a little bit because I'm seeing all these guys who, like, I know are really kind and supportive of me, who I have either personally met, or who have been really, really sweet and engaging recently. And that takes me to my opposition. So while you're thinking about everything I'm sharing with you, I'll tell you about me. My opposition, because of the way that I express these things, and I think what is really, truly, deeply important to me is that people get to feel safe in all of their expressions. People get to feel safe in how they express their sexuality, in how they move through the world in their physical bodies, in how they form and share their creativity. Safety is deeply important, and it is one of the things that we seem to still have a lot of confusion around, a lot of distortion. So I have noticed for myself, when I start massing energy and I start kind of, I don't want to say it like it's, I don't even know if stretching that membrane is an appropriate terminology. It's almost really more like a reality jump. When I get in preparation mode for one of those, or when I'm in the process, when I'm in the experience of that, I get fucking harassed. And it sucks. And it pisses me off, and it hurts me, and I do take it personally, because it's a personal fucking assault. And I take it collectively because I understand that this is the energy, especially for women, but I think for men as well, that we come up against. That it's like, you start doing your thing, you start dancing, you start writing, you start seeing clients, you get ready to publish a book, you this big move in your life, and it's like, what's the energy that comes up? It's all the energy that was sort of holding that former reality in place, all the prohibitions, whether that shows up in the form of criticism about your professional work, or about your appearance, or about the decisions that you're making outwardly, or whether that shows up as your own inner critic inwardly. It's all the same shit, whether it's coming from the inside or it's coming from the outside. We are meeting the fucking gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper has its job because it thinks it's going to make us feel safe. There's some part of us that thinks we're going to get to feel safer by being smaller. And that's the inverse of what is true. Because when we feel that criticism, a lot of us, we regress. We regress to times in our life when maybe like a parent didn't support us, or when a teacher was nasty to us, and we're not of the age and mentality and skill set that we are in our current manifestation of our maturity and joy and expressiveness and fierceness and all of that. So typically, so I'll give you a little history. I shared a post about running into this guy who has been harassing me for over a year. And if I'm honest, longer than that, because we had a friendship, we had an agreement, and I was trying to navigate his behavior with empathy, accountability, and boundaries. And every time I thought that I had gotten through, he would come back around at a later date and he would do something that he would slip back in, and he would create another situation where he fucking violated me. He violated my trust. He violated my boundary. He pushed the limit after I already told him what the limit was. And this is old justice. This is old justice that tries to negotiate with this stuff. This was all of my childhood shit coming to the fucking surface. This was me feeling like I was gonna be left with massive things that I couldn't handle, including like projects around my house that he had agreed to help me with. So every time I confronted this man on his behavior, every time I held my ground, I thought I was going to be left and fucking devastated with all this shit that I didn't have the fucking skills and resources to tackle on my own. It triggered my deepest fucking childhood wounds, and I realized as we went along through this process that he resonated with the first and with the energy of the first person who ever really violated me, and it was a family member, and I didn't even know consciously about the violation at the time. But when it's like healing is sometimes like playing like that game where you're like matching the cards, right? Like you flip one over and you're like, oh, that, and like, whoo, hey, that feels important, I'm gonna leave that up. And then you start flipping other shit over, and then you flip another one over, and you're like, oh, hey, that goes with that. I'm like, fuck, like, that's fucking, that fucking sucks. All right, that is not a false equivalency. That is a direct emotional, psycho-emotional equivalency to behavior I've experienced, to behavior I'm experiencing now. And it's like you put the two cards together and you flick them the fuck out of your life, right? Like, boom, done. Only it's not that simple. Because the resonance stays with us, and we have to continue to tend to it, to the tenderness within ourselves, and to monitoring in the fucking world, because naivete is no longer an option. So this man, I wrote an article about it. I'll come back and I will leave it in the comments, because I was still under the presumption that if I explained to him how he was affecting my fucking humanity, that he would make a course correction in his behavior, that he would stop. I don't think so. There are people who, they want to know how you're impacting them so that they can feed off of your fucking discomfort and insecurity and pain. That's a fact. Don't fucking bypass it. It's real. And it's, it's one of the indicators that someone's either a narcissist or a covert narcissist or a psychopath or a sociopath, or at least on that fucking spectrum. And we don't need to diagnose people to acknowledge behaviors that fall on that spectrum. So that is the energy that arises when I'm stretching and growing. That's what I get to fucking confront. It's super fun. I love it. Not. Okay, so I love it a little bit, but I love it a lot more when I get to choose it. When it shows up in my life in an intimate way, and it feels like it is, it takes me by surprise. Like, I've been hunting it. You guys recognize this. Like, if you go back through my feed over the last month, like, I've been hunting like these predatory coaches. I've been going after it, which is one thing. It's one thing to go after it. It's another thing when it pops up and it's like, oh, hey, guess what? Like, I'm still here and I still have this impact on you. Okay, I want to make sure I'm like tending to you guys too. So I want to take a breath, and I don't want to spin out. I'm gonna breathe. I don't want to fucking spin out. That's more trigger shit for me. Tim says, you do make me feel safe. I'm glad, love. I fucking devoted to fucking safety. fact that I have to consistently tend to and pay attention and protect myself is a part of that. It's how I've learned to fucking do it. And it goes back, it's really old. It goes back to times when, like, I couldn't protect myself. It goes back to when there are people in my life who are under attack and onslaught, and I shouldn't have had to be fucking protecting them, and yet I was. Susan says, yep. Taylor hearts. Tim says, I hope what you PM'd you is helpful. Any care and attentiveness is helpful, whether or not I respond to it immediately or not. Taylor says, well, I've been there. False security, meaning we always sacrifice something. Yes, that fucking sucks. And it is a false security. But it's also often, it goes back to childhood strategies. We recognize that either the people around us are volatile or are neglectful or are, wrapped up in their own sort of emotions or addictions or, obsessions or whatever, and they're not fully capable of meeting our needs. So we compromise. We decide, like, this is more important than this, so I can sacrifice this and I can put this out there because this is likely to get met, but this is not. And we don't necessarily do it consciously. We do it because we recognize it as the best, most effective way for us to fucking survive. And that's how clever we are. So when you come against these places in yourself as you're stretching internally, relationally, or creatively, creatively? It's because you're coming up against these gatekeepers that are like, it's not safe to do that. Those needs are not going to get met there. Susan says you create safe spaces for sure. Thank you, love. It is the entire fucking focus of my practice, is to make sure that people feel safe before we dismantle the false security that you have put in place that is no longer appropriate for you to move forward in mature ways and thrive in your lives. Like, and I'm fierce about it. And anybody who's worked with me knows that, like, I will stop you mid-sentence and I will say, like, come back to this. This is important. Like, I know you're trying to divert and deflect because you don't want to go here because you're scared. These have been your protective mechanisms. I got you. Yeah, I'll do that shit. And I'll argue with clients because I don't give a fuck. If your strategy was working, you wouldn't be sitting with me. It doesn't necessarily mean I know it's right. I just know how to recognize what isn't fucking functioning. Kevin says, aren't all of these bad behaviors some sort of dysfunctional strategy? They are. They absolutely are. On the part of us and on the part of abusers or perpetrators or whomever as well. They are dysfunctional strategies. Like, what I know about this man specifically, his name's Randy. Done protecting him. His name's Randy Hauser, and if you look back through my feed, like, you'll see pictures of us doing projects together, and it's never gonna happen again. Nor are the things that he thought were going to be the result of that. But what I know about him is I know about his childhood trauma. I know who he is. I know where he came from, and I know why he does the things that he does. That does not make me responsible for his fucking behavior just because I can see the course of his trauma. People are responsible for their own fucking pain and behavior and what they fucking do with it. So this idea that hurt people is a false equivalency. Hurt people do not always hurt people. Hurt people pick up strategies that they perceive to be the most effective way to go about meeting their needs and avoiding their own discomfort. And sometimes discharging that discomfort inside of themselves means hurting other people. You don't need to fucking stand in the way of that. That's bullshit. Okay, David says, my laugh is medicine. Thank you. So, like, from a physical standpoint, I've been, like, my voice is changing. I can feel it. I can feel the resonance in my body. And I've been, like, gunk. It's going. Psycho, emotional, physical junk. KMJ says, do I feel safe right now? I do. I feel safe. I'm sitting on my fucking porch, like, I'm drinking my coffee. I'm in my ritual. I'm, like, having my coffee ritual. I'm in my environment. I do feel safe. And, I can tell that I'm shifting out of this pattern because... Oh, I was gonna say, I was telling a friend this morning, I was like feeling like, fuck, I'm waiting for incident number 3 because it always comes in 3. I always get 3 violations, right? And I'm not talking about like massive, like somebody even necessarily coming into my physical space, but 3 violations. So on my birthday, it was this dude messaged me on Instagram, really fucking gross, like visceral, personal, like this is what I want to do to you stuff, which is like a massive trigger. That's what Randy did to me last year that ended our friendship. And I'm going to post the article that I wrote about it, but I talk about it. I talk about the process of the shock hitting my body from reading that as if I was physically violated, about the feeling of disassociation, the freeze, having to bring myself back in, and what I did to fucking do that, how I took in my environment and I took in my physical sensations to fucking get there. And I was in a goddamn coffee shop when all this was all happening, and this fucking piece of shit ruined my morning. So what did I do? I wrote an awesome elephant journal article called Just Another Everyday Sexual Violation. And I sent it to him. I was like, okay, still thinking from that point in time, like, if I let him know how I feel, like, this will, but I was done. I was already done by then, but I wanted him to know how I felt. Nope. Didn't do it. He's still pushing. Breathing. Susan, I'm going to read your comment in just a moment. Kay says, swipe left and keep on stepping, sugar. Yeah, that's what I do. Tim says it was a good article. Thank you. I got an editor's pick. I was proud of it. It reached a lot of people. I had people tell me that the text that I took the text that I sent to him and I stuck it in the fucking article. I was like, I had people tell me, like, next time this happens to me, I'm saving this text to send to whomever does this. I'm like, boom, good. Glad I can be of assistance. So, I'm a fighter, in case you can't tell. I wouldn't say it's when I'm conscious of what I'm dealing with, when I'm not triggered at that really deep regress level, it is my go-to strategy. Like, I fucking fight. When my trigger arises in a more intimate setting, I freeze. And so anytime that something would happen with Randy over the course of the time, like, I would freeze and I would have to come back to it and address it after the fact, which makes that medicine and that exchange less potent, but it still needed to happen, right? So, and I recently, like, there was a guy who was, offering me friendship, like offering me friendship, and something was, like, started just, like, not feeling right for me, because my instincts are far more fucking functional than they ever have been in my life. And I talk about this, and I wrote a piece that I shared on Facebook, and I put on my website, and I'll come back and I'll drop it in here. The relationship between the inner predator and the inner child. And I wrote a post on my wall the other day about how my inner hunter, which is essentially my inner predator, is really good at tracking and retrieving lost children. We have this need in us to hunt. And when it's not tended to, it's not fed appropriately, or when it's been really fucked with and disabled, it will make us more susceptible to predators. We become prey ourselves. 2, it makes us less effective at protecting ourselves and at sniffing out what is right and healthy in our life and who we should and shouldn't be interacting with. And 3, it fucks with the inner hunter. It turns them into a predator. And this is all trauma and toxicity that's, taking effect. So, tangent, but important one. I'll come back. I'll stick that article in there too. So, And this is all relevant to what I was about to share about my freeze response. So when I freeze, I have to come back to the moment and readdress what just happened. And it's not as potent, it's not as effective, and it doesn't allow me to as effectively sort of discharge that shock and that experience. When we run, when we fight, we discharge those hormones, we discharge that energy. When we don't, we keep a loop in place. And a lot of us, particularly women, are freezers, and it's our go-to strategy. So if you experience criticism as a threat, like as you're sort of growing and like kind of melting and sort of stretching beyond, like that criticism is going to feel like a really good reason to fucking stay in place. If you feel like you experience criticism or you like, you know, any of these kind of interactions as you want to fight, it's actually better. You want to run away, like it's still better, but it's still going to be less effective. So, this guy, the other guy, I was in the hot springs the other night and I was stretching out and I was in grief mode. My heart was fucking super heavy. Like, been moving through some shit, like just to get things to open. It's like, you gotta recognize, okay, this is dense here and this is constricted here and this hurts here, and like, that's okay. But it's like feeling it and holding it and being present with it, like it allows it to open. And for me, I fucking write through it. Like, that's where my creativity comes from. Like, any of you who resonate with me as a muse, that's what you're tapping into, is my willingness to go into that. Like, it's exciting, it feels good, it's fucking scary, but it also, like, it's juicy and it's enlivening, it activates us inside. And so I stretched my feet out, and this guy who fringy had kind of been setting off my instincts, like, reached for my feet and started rubbing my feet, and I fucking jerked my feet away. And he was like, oh, what's up, like, ticklish? I was like, no, I didn't fucking invite you to touch me. Like, I didn't freeze. I was so proud of myself for not freezing. And yesterday, when I ran into Randy, I'd seen him, I was tracking him, I was aware he was there. It always sucks. I can fucking feel him in the building before I ever see him. It's stupid. And it's a public place, and he usually doesn't talk to me. He just, like, looks, you know? Yeah, fucking looks. And we're all in swimsuits, and it's like, and like, I'll glare, and I'll look away, and I'll, like, but I'm fucking sick of, like, managing my energy for this motherfucker, and I'm sick of having to manage my energy for these people who are being inappropriate. It's fucking bullshit. And the fact that, like, we as women or as victims are given skills for how to deal with this energy is necessary, but it's also fucked because they're not being told or stopped, because I fucking called the cops on this piece of shit. Like, like, what you're doing is not okay, right? So when I open my eyes and he's like 2 feet from my fucking face and he's like, oh, how you doing? I'm like, loud. I was loud yesterday. I was very proud of myself. I did not freeze. I was like, I don't want to fucking talk to you ever again. I thought I made that clear, like, as loud as I could be. And if there wasn't very many in the people in the place, but heads turned and looked and, like, saw, like, got witness, like, okay, like, this is not fucking acceptable. And then last night, 3, I'm relieved, because I'm like, oh no, there's been 3. Phew, okay, I'm done. Like, got this weird, like, I've taken to blocking people a lot more for good reason. I won't just block just because you annoy me or disagree with me. That's not cool for me. But subtle violations, sort of gross, sticky stuff, you're gone. I'm over it. So, like, there's been this guy, and, like, guys will talk to themselves in my message box, and I'll put them on mute, and as long as they're not, like, harmful, like, I don't necessarily, like, delete that energy from my life. So I happened to see one pop up, and this guy's been talking to himself for a while, but included in his conversation with himself, because I have not been interacting, was, like, this whole soft porn description and all of these fucking naked pictures of these couples, and it's like, okay, Like, if I liked you, or if we were in the process of having a conversation and communicating and this was on the table, like, that would be hot, but we're not. It's not a thing. So, like, I posted it last night and then I deleted it. I actually named him because we had like 14 mutual friends. And I was like, fuck you, Sherpa Dejori. Like, this is not a thing. This is not happening. And I took screenshots of all of the things that he had sent to me and I stuck it in the post. And then I went through and looked and he deleted all of his messages and then I fucking blocked him. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, that's 3. So that seems to be what happens in my world. And I believe that the reason that this happens is threefold, because it matches what is my full embodied purpose. And that is to claim my fucking woman suit. Like, I've talked about this. I resonate with being a woman more than I resonate with being a human, because it is more personal and it's more fucking intimate. That the experiences that happen to me and like through me as a woman are more intimate than what I can say about my objective or even empathological experience of humanity. I can sit with anyone from that human connection state, but when it comes to fully owning and embodying and fucking claiming who I am and how I move through the world, that is as a witch and a fucking woman. Woman comes first. Just like as warrior and priestess, warrior comes first. I'm not going to sit down in the middle of a fucking battlefield and pray I'm going to take some goddamn heads. So here I am, taking heads. This is part of who I am. This is part of my purpose. I have had to learn how to protect myself so that I can more effectively protect you. Because I would say 70% of my fucking practice have been violated, have experienced incest, have been hunted by people who are supposed to fucking protect them, have been betrayed by people who are supposed to have their fucking back. And I can't sit with it if I'm not in touch with these feelings within myself. It's not an objective experience. It is intimate. It is personal. It is powerful. I'm effective at what I do because I'm fucking angry about what happened to you. Because I'm angry about what happened to me. I'm effective at what I do and how I articulate it and share it because I'm not afraid of the full fucking spectrum. Which means I'm not afraid to protect myself, and I'm getting even better and more effective at it. And I'm not afraid to call bullshit on the things that happen to you. Fuck. And as I stretch into who I am and what I embody, this is what I'm going to continue to fucking speak and talk and write about and live. And yes, like my sensuality, my sexuality is forefront to that because it is vitality. It's vital fucking energy. I'm not going to fucking apologize for it. And I'm not going to be told that I need to fucking manage that when other people need to manage their fucking responses to that. Fucking bullshit over it. It's like rape, blame, victim consciousness. Okay. Thanks for witnessing my discharge. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I truly do. I hope my sharing of my personal self is beneficial for you. And I want to come back and read your comments. Susan says, one of the hardest things I've done is separate from my family who abused me. His consciousness has never and will never change. I no longer hate him, but there's nothing there for me anymore. Yes. And that's so powerful, and that's so 100% totally and absolutely appropriate that we don't need to continue to interact with abusive people. I wrote in an article that I'm going to come back and drop in the links. Fuck forgiveness, it's boundaries and badassery that let us heal. And one of the statements I make in that article is that it is entirely possible and appropriate for us to move through life healed, healing, and becoming whole without ever giving two fucks about a perpetrator ever again, no matter our relationship to them. That's okay. You know what? Like, Source will take care of their soul. It's not our fucking job. Our job is to care for ourselves and our own relationship with Source and the way that manifests through our body, and safety has gotta be fucking prioritized. It is totally okay. Tim says it might be worth looking to high stress self-defense classes. I forget the exact term, but it involves the instructor wearing a full padded suit. You can't hit out all the force, but it can distance the reflexes to acting accurately while under stress. Maybe. Fighting with people has never been actually an issue for me, to be perfectly honest. It's something I've done way too much of, and given the stimulus where like somebody's actually like physically attacking me, like I have no fucking problem responding. I haven't had to do it in years. It's the more subtle stuff that gets to me, because you can't punch someone in the face when they fucking lean in and ask you how you're doing. It would look really bizarre. I would go to jail, not him, right? So it's like, it's the containment and like holding the correct and appropriate response for the situation as well. I talk about taking heads. I'm not actually going to take anybody's fucking head, but like psychically and spiritually, like I got a collection, trust me. And I have no remorse about it. Called the Black Panther mechanism. It is repeatedly described in 1950 in the original book Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health. Hubbard goes on to say, let us suppose that a particularly black-tempered black panther is sitting on the stairs, and then a man named Gus is sitting in the living room. Gus wants to go to bed, but there is a black panther. The problem is to get up the stairs. There are 5 things that Gus can do. The 5 alternates are described as attack, flee, avoid, neglect, and succumb. Okay, so fuck L. Ron Hubbard. Those are just your primal fucking instinctive responses. It's FFF. Fight, flee, freeze, fawn. And there's another one. My client Caitlin calls it fuck around, but it's to create a diversion. So we don't need to talk about L. Ron Hubbard. That's just basic. Who's a fucking ridiculous piece of shit. We don't need to talk about Scientology in order to understand the mechanisms of how your instincts work. But it's a good analogy. It's just a stupid source. Phew. Yeah, I agree. Yep, blocked his ass, Tim. I absolutely did. Human happens to all of us, but woman is personal to me. Yes. Susan, hearts. K, hearts. Connie, hi. Susan, fuck forgiveness. Yes. Kevin says, when I read this a few years ago, I developed a habit of investigating if I pick one strategy over another in a situation. Now I experiment with checking in which of the 5 will apply. Yeah, that's a great practice. L. Ron Hubbard's just a piece of shit. Just saw this as I'm getting ready to have friends over for visiting and dinner. Can't stay yet. I know I'm right here with all those feelings. I will listen later to all of this. Love all that. Oh, oops. Love all that are here. And feeling it. I love you too, Connie. Thanks for stopping by. Kevin's laughing. Sure. Yes. Yes. L. Ron Hubbard created Scientology. Exactly. And we all know how I feel about cults. And if we don't, just stick around. I'd be happy to, elucidate and elaborate. Scientology is fucked up. Yeah, so, and it's, it's funny because it's like that's a relevant piece of information, but the source that it comes from and the structure that it's been put through is not. It's not okay. So, there you have it. Those are my thoughts. It feels good. It helps me to discharge, to share. It's one of the reasons that I write, because it's cathartic for me, and I know that I'm usually at least relatively articulate in the way that I do it, and so that it can resonate and create some structure and awareness for you as well. It's the same reason I make videos like this, specifically when I'm feeling like something wants to burst, something wants to be bloomed. And I think it's useful to acknowledge that, like, it's not all like, it's not all like fairy farts and unicorn poop. It's like shit gets real when we're on our path. We get confronted with our deepest pains and fears and wounds. And it doesn't mean that we're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that we need to avert or redirect or change course. It often means that we're on the right track, that we're coming up against the things in ourselves and in the world that we need to learn how to be more skillful in navigating. And that's an opportunity to develop those skill sets. That's an opportunity to grow, encourage, and to meet ourselves to meet the little tender parts with compassion and maturity, and to, pick up the fucking sword and keep going. David says, I pick my scabs usually. Yeah. I was terrible about that as a kid. Not so much anymore, but still. Susan says, yes, life is messy. Just wrote that same thing. Yeah, I write that a lot, and, it's like, in the line of work that I'm in, the focus on the love and light, like, yes, it's a beautiful thing. Like, the reason I do this, I think the reason we're here is to sort of grow that love light, but to grow it skillfully, to sort of, to care for our innocence, to rise in courage and protect it, to confront the ugliness in ourselves and in the world, to do something about it, right? And we have to develop the skills to do that. We have to be willing to look to do that. We have to be willing to sort of, see the naivete in ourselves and in the world and be like, okay, it's time to grow beyond that. And that's the edge for a lot of us. That is the edge. Susan says, thanks for the definition of white lighting the other day. Yeah, my pleasure. So the definition of white lighting is it's a positivity bypass. It's like trying to make things better as a means of maintaining the comfort status quo. It's another quote from my most recent article that I'll come back and pop in the comments. So, thanks for being present with me this morning, everybody who's here. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody who's here, who's ever worked with me, for allowing me to be present with you at various times in your life and your journey. Tim says it's nice to be nice, but not when it means ignoring our boundaries. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's not nice. That's inept. Randy doesn't know how to manage his self-loathing and places that onto others. I'm sorry. Yes, I concur. And that's unfortunate, but it's not my fucking problem. Susan says hearts. I say hearts back. So let's just like wind this energy back in, and I hope this has been beneficial for you guys. It's been beneficial for me. I feel better. Let's take a breath. And just connect with the body. there's one good reason for us to cultivate and develop our power, and that is to move more effectively through the world and to protect our own and others' innocence. It's a good reason. So, lots of love to you guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. If you're interested and attracted to me and my work, you can find me at illuminationwithjustice.com. I write prolifically on Elephant Journal. All over my Facebook wall, you can friend me. Just be prepared to deal with the full spectrum if you decide that you want to go there. But I definitely I welcome new connections, and I'm all about building community in this way. This seems to be the way to do it right now. So take care of yourselves and each other, and I will talk to you soon.